Don't start the meeting.
Good evening and welcome to the Planning and Consultation Committee for this evening, the 14th of July. Members of the public are advised the meeting will be live streamed and recorded, and the live stream recording will be made publicly available on YouTube and Council's website. Nillumbik Shire Council respectfully acknowledges and recognises the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung as the traditional owner of the land on which Nillumbik is located. We pay tribute to all First Peoples living in the Nillumbik Shire, give respect to elders past, present and emerging, and extend our respects to all First Peoples. We acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. We do have an apology this evening for Councillor Kelly Joy. Do I have a mover for that? Thank you, Councillor Perkins. And a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Brooker. Councillor Perkins, would you like to speak?
No, I'd just like to move the apology of Councillor Joy.
Thank you. And Councillor Brooker, would you like to speak? No. No worries. Would any other councillors like to speak on this? Yes.
We just wish her a speedy recovery.
We do. Thank you, Councillor Demarick. I'll now put this to a vote. All those in favour? Thank you. That is carried unanimously. Are there any councillors who wish to disclose a conflict of interest this evening? And that is a negative. And we are racing through. Here we go. We would like to confirm the minutes of the previous Planning Consultation Committee meeting held on the Tuesday the 12th of May. Do I have a mover for that?
Yes, thanks, Chair. I will move the minutes as per the papers.
Thank you. And a seconder? Thank you, Kim. Councillor Cope. And would you like to speak, Councillor Joyner?
No, thank you.
No. And Councillor Cope. Any other councillors wish to speak to the minutes? No. I'll put this to a vote. All those in favour? Thank you. That's carried unanimously. We only have one item on the agenda this evening, the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung People Native Title Claim. And we unfortunately do not have anyone registered to speak to this item. Do I have a mover for this recommendation?
Yes, thanks, Chair.
As per the papers?
As I would like to move, I was waiting to be recognised.
Oh,
but,
I'm so sorry. Yes, Councillor Demarick.
as per the papers up on the screen there. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. And do I have a seconder? No. Councillor Cope. And would you like to speak to this, Councillor Demarick?
Just briefly, as you pointed out in your recognition, the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung are the people that have native title over, have a native title claim over the area in which Nillumbik is situated, along with a large region of Melbourne metropolitan area and up to Mount Baw and I think across to the Werribee Creek, and I'm sure we've heard the rest of it quite a bit. The matter before us concerns native title application and Council's role in responding to that process. Native title claims an important part of Australia's legal framework and provides a mechanism through which traditional owners can seek recognition for their ongoing connection to country. The report's not asking Council to determine the validity of the claim, but it's a matter of appropriate legal process. It's asking Council to note the application, understand its potential implications, and ensure we respond responsibly, particularly in relation to Crown land in the municipality. The attachments in the paper talk about the Council's Register of Crown land, and it's worth going through and just seeing the significant pieces of the Shire that are Crown land, and so we do really want to be aware of what changes this may have as we move forward. As a council, it's important that we approach this matter with respect and openness, a commitment to good governance, and we have an obligation to understand the impacts on community assets, public land, and recognising the significance of this process for the traditional owners. I believe that Council needs to engage early and be aware of the process. It needs to be a relevant party and needs to work with all areas so that we can keep the community informed as it progresses, We can make the necessary arrangements for management of things such as Lower Eltham Park or the Panton Hill Football Ground, the old courthouse buildings. These are all on Crown land, so we need to be really aware of what's going on. Matters of native title are complex and taking a considerable time to resolve. There's examples of it, taking up to 18 years. So this should not prevent us from participating in the process in a thoughtful, respectful manner, but we do want to minimise the unnecessary costs associated with it. We will work closely with other local governments to get an understanding of what it actually means, and we will keep the community aware of what's going on. We'll continue to show our commitment to reconciliation, to responsible stewardship of public land and to respect for the rule of law. So for those reasons, I support the recommendation as outlined, that we take a role in responding to it, but we don't get overly involved or spend a lot of unnecessary funds on it, with the state government being the primary respondent. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Demerick. Councillor Cope, would you like to speak?
I have no comment except for full agreement with John's comments.
Oh, thank you. Just with your microphone on. You want to repeat that quickly?
No comment except for full agreement with
Thank
John's
you.
comments.
Would any other councillors like to speak? Yes, Councillor Brooker.
Thank you, Chair. Look, I'll make some comments on the application itself before addressing the substance of the motion tonight, which is in effect what to do about it from a Nillumbik perspective. The application is from the 14 names listed on page 18 of the attachments. 2B, 15, any person living at or before 1836 who is attested a member of the Woiwurrung speaking clan or family. This creates a very expansive boundary. As genealogical research expands and historical records expand, additional descendants may emerge who can possibly trace their ancestry back to the Wurundjeri family. You can imagine this becoming quite a complex, administratively difficult situation to negotiate, and I expect that is what will happen. The questions that will need to be determined: who may speak on behalf of country, who participates in benefit sharing arrangements, who votes in decision-making processes. This speaks to the workability administratively of this claim, and that view in dot points 2 and 16, I think, accurately summarise where this whole process will play out. And to quote, the Victorian government can negotiate an out-of-court settlement to recognise traditional owners and rights they might hold in relation to Crown land. I think that is where we will land. I mean, in the examples given in dot point 13, and you can Google them, those settlements were arrived at differently, but both ultimately were litigated outside of a courtroom process or a courtroom trial. And you can get that information if you wish. So if we have some type of negotiated settlement, you most likely do not want to opt for option A, because you are then absent, presumably, from the negotiations that will give rise to the settlement. The major problem of C is costs. Option C puts you in the room where these negotiations will take place, but that has to be balanced against the extent of our liability under the Committee of Management process in particular. Dot point 43 speaks to those limits, whilst the attachment provides an outline of all the Nillumbik Crown land. The greatest financial risk for Council would appear to be in 17E, the Land Use Activity Agreement, which includes provision for compensation that would need to be negotiated. So option B allows us to be self-represented. that is excluding, I think, formal paid-for legal representation, where we could obtain some sense of what is being progressed from an observer status and
Just finishing up, please.
That's
when
it?
you have a second.
Okay, so my option is for B as a halfway house to get us to where we need to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Brooker. Would any other councillors like to speak? No? I will now put this to a vote. All those in favour? Thank you. That is carried unanimously. We have no supplementary or urgent business this evening, and we have no confidential reports. So that brings us to the close of the meeting at 7:11 p.m. Thank you, everyone. That concludes our meeting for the night. I declare this meeting closed at 7:11. Thank you.